movies are funny because you think they're one thing when you're making them, and then they go out in the world and they take on a life of their own, and it's not really up to you. It sort of belongs to people once you put it out in the world.
Wish I could be just like you.
Don't talk silly.
It's not silly. You're the smartest girl in school. You're so pretty it hurts. The boys fall in love with themselves when you walk down the street. And I'm just a lump.
Man in the Moon was my first movie ever. I auditioned for it in Nashville when I was 14 years old. They did a cross-the-country talent search for a Southern girl, and I got the part.
How was that?
Perfect.
I remember coming in from softball practice and the phone ringing. The kids, this is back when the phone was on the wall and it had a curly wire that went back into the wall. My mom picked it up and she said, "What? What do you mean? Reese, they said that they want you to come make a movie." And I was like, "What?" She said, "They said you got the part." And we all were just screaming and jumping up and down, and it was a really magical, amazing moment.
You see, I believe in the voters. They understand that elections aren't just popularity contests. They know this country was built by people just like me, who work very hard and don't have everything handed to them on a silver spoon.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun playing Tracy Flick. I remember when I read the script, I was like, I have to play this part. I must play this character. And I remember going into the audition and I looked at Alexander Payne, the director, and I was like, you can audition other people, but I'm the right person for this part. And he was like, holy crap. Okay, I'm ready to begin. And I just never dropped that character. I flew to Omaha, Nebraska, and I had every day was just such a delight with Alexander. He is so funny. He and I would laugh all the time, and he just let me be free to be as silly and strange as I wanted to be. I remember seeing the movie and crying because I was like, he did this thing where he stops motion on my face while I'm talking, so I'm like this. Like at certain points where I'm like that, and I was like, why did you do that? I looked so bad, and I was like crying, and I was like, and then people started calling me and going, I love this movie. I'm obsessed with this movie. This movie is so fun and it's so great. It was amazing that people loved it so much. And that she became such an iconic female political character because we don't have that many. And she is sort of an archetype of American ambition and this idea of a woman wanting to get ahead. And it's kind of interesting as you go back and look at it now, like what are the qualities that we thought were sort of not great about her ambition, and now that we encourage in young women. So it's a real shift, I think.
Please stop.
It's okay, you can laugh. I promise I won't tell anybody.
Cruel Intentions was so fun. I remember reading the script and thinking, well, this is just a fun ride. And getting to work with Sarah, which is the height of Buffy the Vampire Slayer fame, and Ryan and I were, together as this couple, and we were having so much fun, and it was just funny. We had a great time. I remember being in New York City and driving the very last scene where I'm driving the Jaguar. And they had a helicopter shooting us, and I was like, oh man, this is like real movie magic. This is so cool.
Honey, so what did you do that made Dad cut you off?
Okay, I bought a boat.
You bought a boat?
Yeah, but it wasn't for me, it was for a friend.
Boy, did we make friends with the wrong sister.
Oh my gosh, being on Friends still to this day is one of my scariest moments ever because it was in front of a live audience.
Yes?
Hi.
And I'd never really done theater. I'd never been in front of a live audience. And I was just blown away about how that cast pivoted so quickly with their jokes.
And that's Joey.
Hey, how you doing?
Don't!
And they had this natural rapport and rhythm with each other that I think has never really ever been that. I've never seen it again. It was just the 6 people working in rhythm together. And then you could tell they truly loved each other. So it's really lovely to me that I got to see them. I was the kid on the set. I think I was 22. And of course, Jen was just the sweetest to me, always be. I just had a baby, and I remember her and Courtney running to my dressing room going, "Can we see the baby? You have a baby?" I was like, "I do, y'all, I have a baby." They would be like, "Can we touch the baby? Can we hold the baby?" I was like, "Yes, here." And Ava was on set, and I got to put her in the couch in Central Perk. And I still have a little picture of her at Central Perk, and she's like a baby like this.
You got into Harvard Law?
What, like it's hard? Oh my gosh, Warner, it's gonna be so great. I'm planning this great mixer. You totally have to help me. I'm thinking like a luau or maybe like casino night. This is gonna be just like senior year, except for funner.
Funner. Playing Elle Woods was just the highlight of my career, my early career for sure. She was such a funny character. She was such an underdog. And just trying to find those pieces of her that was really vulnerable, that feeling that people underestimate you and think you can't do things, which is a feeling that so many people feel in this world. And I had no idea when we were making it that it was gonna touch so many people's hearts. And the thing I really love about Elle Woods is I share that performance with so many young people because of the stage play. So many people have played Elle Woods. So I feel like I'll have all these cool people come up to me and be like, "I played Elle Woods." And I'm like, "I played Elle Woods. We're both Elle Woods." So it's something that I really share with a lot of people.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
You know, I have a lot of people come up to me about Legally Blonde and tell me that they went to law school because of Legally Blonde. And you don't realize when you're making a movie the impact that it's gonna have once it goes into the world. But I'll go places like Japan or Russia or Poland, or I've been all over the world, and I've had women come up to me and say, "You made me want to be a lawyer. You made me want to reach for a higher degree," or "You made me believe in myself." And that's such, I can't tell you how fulfilling that is. Particularly when I hear it from little girls, or they write their college essays about, "I want to be like Elle Woods." That's a big part of my life.
I want to show you something.
I can't.
Can or won't?
Both. All I want to say about Sweet Home Alabama is that is not Matthew McConaughey. I know a lot of people think it's Matthew. Matthew always says, "Everybody comes up to me and says, 'Are you in Sweet Home Alabama?' And I'm not. And I'm like, I know. Well, I know. And I've really only I've done 3 movies with Matthew, but he's not in Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah, we're going to Jackson. Ain't never coming back.
I knew it was a big undertaking because we did 7 months of training, of voice training and instrument training, and so we all had to learn to play instruments. We all had vocal training. We had to record an album, and it was a tremendous amount of work. But we were shepherded through that whole experience by T-Bone Burnett, who is a music legend, and thank God for him. Every time I see him all the time, I say, "T-Bone, thank you for making me a country music star." It was my biggest dream come true. Because when I was a little girl, before I wanted to be an actor, I wanted to be a country music star. I wanted to be Dolly Parton. That was my dream. So he made my dream come true. T-Bone and James Mangold, who wrote and directed the movie. And working with Joaquin was just incredible. To watch a person disappear into a performance like that, it's truly transported you to another time. And the costumes were so beautiful. It's such a beautiful love story. It was really a privilege to play June. I just remember every time being completely surprised that I won an award, that I got the opportunity to play a woman that I admired so much, but that I was also rewarded by my peers, who I revere so much. So having the Academy vote for me, it was really validating.
My mother used to say something that drove me nuts. There's a sunrise and a sunset every day, and you can choose to be there for it. You can put yourself in the way of beauty.
Well, Wild's a really important movie in my career because it's the first movie that I produced. I bought the book before it ever came out, and it was before it was published, and I was like, okay, and I put my own money into it, and I developed it, and I was like, I'm gonna star in it. And so it started my producing career, and it's very close to my heart because Laura Dern's my very best friends in the whole world from that movie. We didn't know each other before that movie. And Cheryl Strayed is just one of the most phenomenal writers of our time, writing about emotion and grief and loss and love. So I just learned a lot on that movie. And I got to be with a director who really changed my career quite a bit, which is Jean-Marc Vallée, who also directed Big Little Lies.
If I were you, I would just let it go. I would. With Bonnie, Abigail, I'd ride it out.
No, I love my grudges. I tend to them like little pets.
Oh, wow. I mean, you know, I'd seen Nicole Kidman before at the Oscars once, okay, y'all? And she was nominated for Moulin Rouge. And I remember stopping her and just fangirling over her and going, I just want you to know, I think you are so incredibly talented. And I just hope one day I get a chance to work with you. And she was like, oh, that's so lovely. Thank you so much. That's my Nicole impression. But then when that book came out, Big Little Lies, and she and I were both bidding on it, and we had a mutual producer who called both, said, why don't we just all do it together? And so, honestly, every day I was on that set, I couldn't believe I was sitting across from Nicole Kidman and that she was acting in a part and I was acting with her. I'd almost just stare at her half the time because I couldn't believe what was happening. And I was like, you're Nicole Kidman. She's like, I know. I was like, I just wanted you to know. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware that you're Nicole Kidman.
To you, I give the gift of your faults. You're welcome.
You do know my faults are the bad qualities, right?
Are they really? Well, then you're all set.
You want to ask me about Oprah? I just love her. She's really as great as you think she is. She's really, truly the great. I got to do a movie with her, and that was the best thing about making a movie with Oprah was spending 3 hours with her every day in the makeup trailer because she's just that inspiring at all times.
I'll see you Tuesday.
Okay. And maybe we could go get a drink or something next week. I feel like when you came back, I had all these barriers up, and this just wasn't fair.
I would really love that.
Oh my gosh, it's been so fun doing Morning Show with Jen. This was also based on a book. And we also called each other and said, should we do this together? Should we make a TV show together? And it just felt so right. It was a time, it was like this pivotal time in journalism where everything was shifting and we were seeing behind the scenes what was happening to women in news and media. And it just was like perfect timing for us to jump into this project together. We just had dinner last night. We are sisters for life. We were sisters on Friends. Now we're work wives. And just nothing's ever felt more natural. We just love each other. It's a big love.